All right, this week we're going to look at perhaps one of the best known and most loved modern American composers, Frank Ticheli. Frank has taught composition at the University of Southern California since 1991. So my entire college career and since then, I've known his music as some of the best out there. He hails from Louisiana originally. He went to school at the University of Michigan, where he got his master's and doctorate degrees in composition. But he started out playing trumpet when he was a young kid, mainly because it was the cheapest instrument they could get in the pawn shop. So it's not like he had a ton of support from his family, but he ended up doing okay. He's really mostly known for concert band music. He doesn't do film scores or television music or anything. He's not known for that. He mostly is known as a teacher now. Writes a lot of books about it. But he lives in Southern California now and probably enjoys the weather. This particular piece is based on music of the Cajuns. Now, if you've ever been to that part of the country, they have a rather unique way of speaking, and they call it Cajun French. Most of them are they came from early French colonists who came over to the New World in the early 17th century, where now it's known as Nova Scotia up in Canada. But then during the French and Indian War, as we know it, or the 7 Years' War is what they call it up there, this group called the Acadians refused to sign a treaty with the British, and so they basically kicked them out and said, go somewhere else. So they worked their way south, and they agreed to meet somewhere around New Orleans. A lot of them went to Haiti. Some of them went up and down the Mississippi River. Some ended up in North Dakota, as far up there. But they're spread out all over the eastern seaboard. It's just that most of southern Louisiana and coastal Texas, there's a large population of these people. He uses some techniques in this piece to get the sounds of the traditional Cajun instruments. If you go to see a Cajun band play, they call it Zydeco music. The common instruments that you'll hear would be a triangle. Ask me to show you the Cajun triangle player sometime. They call it a titfer. They use a Cajun accordion, which it only plays in one key. It's very specific. They use a violin, but they call it a fiddle, and they sing. So you hear all of those things in traditional Cajun music. He also, in the second movement of this piece, which is kind of a ballad, sort of, it's in 5/4 time, which is it's harder to dance to, basically. The Cajun accordion, sometimes you can find them that have been electronically amplified, but the specific thing that sets them apart from a traditional accordion is they're only in one key. So if you want to play in two different keys, you have to get two different accordions. So typically they just stick to one key. This particular piece was commissioned in 1990 by Cheryl Floyd, who was the director of the Murchison Middle School Band from Austin, Texas. I actually got to see that band perform one time at a clinic in Chicago, and holy free holies. Talk about an amazing musical ensemble. Wow. Commissioning a piece of music from a composer is typically a pretty expensive proposition, especially somebody at his level. You can spend $3,000 to $10,000 to get something specifically written for your ensemble and your needs. So if you've ever had a chance to play music by Ticheli, he's got a very unique sound and style. Really, really good stuff. So we will now listen to a little bit of Frank Ticheli's Cajun folk songs. And this recording, it's a different ensemble, but it's Cheryl Floyd conducting. Starts out with a nice saxophone solo. So this is a community band from Austin, Texas, mostly made up of non-professional musicians. They do something else for their living, but they still like to play. There's a lot of those in Texas. Community bands are a big deal. A lot of these are probably band directors as well. You can tell they're the middle-aged men that wear glasses or have a little bit of extra weight around their middle. That would be most of the brass section. Okay, I'll let you go listen to the rest of that on your own. The second and third movements are pretty cool. We did make a recording of this a while ago. I think it was 2007, maybe, when we did an entire CD of music by Frank Ticheli here at the high school. So, okay, we'll have a little bit more for you next time. Bye.